Hey, this is Kenneth, and today I'm going to show you how to operate the drill press. The drill press is a relatively simpler tool compared to the other ones I've shown you. It's less dangerous. It doesn't tend to take whole fingers or hands. You could just do a lot of damage with it if you weren't careful. Principle of operation is real simple. It has a chuck on a quill. You will take any drill, place it in there, tighten it down, and drill. But before you drill down, you need to actually confirm what size of drill you're using to set the speed correctly. So today, I'm actually going to be drilling out a small area here for one of my projects. This is a small steamboat, so it's this is the wood base of it. And so I'm actually, instead of using a standard helix high-speed steel bit drill like you're used to, I'm going to be using a 3/4 inch Forstner bit. Forstner bits are unique because they are actually flat base, so where with the helix it'll give you a kind of a indented, a conical base to it. This will actually give you a flat bottom of the hole. Alright, so first we need to set the speed, then we'll set all the stops. Since we're doing light drilling into very soft wood, we won't need to do much clamping on this, but let's get started on that. So first we're going to install the drill. So how you install it is there's this ring around the chuck. You can spin it, and it's a 3-tooth chuck, which is real standard for drilling like this. And you get it down to just hand tight. Now you're going to use the chuck key, which has a pin and then gears on it. So you would just put this in the hole and tighten it like that. Alright? The real danger here is that people will accidentally leave the chuck key in the chuck, and then when you turn it on, it'll spin and it'll hit you. That's bad. Luckily, this drill press happens to come with a spring-loaded chuck key. It's got a little spring on it, and so you actually can't leave it in the chuck, which is good. Don't forget to do that. Alright? So that's put in. Next, we're going to have to check the speed. So that's 3/4 inch. On the side of your drill press, it'll have this table. So we're drilling wood 3/4. So it's down here. It's between 5/8 and 7/8. And so we're going to go with a speed of 1,325 RPM. To set the speed, you lift up the top here, and then it's got a V-belt right here and 8 separate wheels. So you can see on the side, it shows you the motor and spindle wheels and what RPM you get. So since we want 1325, that is the 4th wheel from the top. This lever right here releases the tension on the V-belt, so now the V-belt is loose. And then we can just take it and lift it up to the 4th wheel on the spindle. Alright, make sure that you're on the same wheel on both sides. You don't want your V-belt to be skewed, and retension it. Alright, we're now set for the new speed. Alright, once that's set up, we want to set up our stops. So since I'm cutting an indentation in this block of wood, I only want to go a little bit past halfway. So what I want to do is I'm going to say, I think my table is a little bit low, so we're going to have to raise it up a little bit. Over here is the release for the table. So I loosen that, and I can just walk the table up. This is a Sears drill press. This actually happens to be the last piece of equipment that we have not yet replaced with something better like DeWalt or Delta or Rockwell. So I wouldn't say that this is the best table. The good tables will actually have some sort of thread or a crank on the side, where this one, when you release it, it'll just drop it. Alright? So that being said, so we want to say, we want to go down about that far. So what you do is up here, there's a thumb screw. You set it to that, tighten it down, and a little bit higher. Yeah. There is a scale on the side to set the depth. I never use it. It's usually just easier to measure, actually bring the tool down and actually measure it. So that's good. Extra thumb screw come in to cinch it down. Alright, and so now we don't need to worry about how deep we're cutting. We just have to cut until it stops. So we're sure we're not going to hit the table, we're not going to cut too deep. We're highly confident that we're going to get exactly what we want out of it. Alright, now to actually start the drill, switch up here. Safety child interlock is just this little yellow plastic piece. Without it, the drill won't turn on. With it, the drill will turn on. Alright, so we just tend to leave it in because we actually have a circuit breaker that we use to cut it out. But if you were in your shop, you would want all of your tools to be somehow locked out and have these type of keys that you would then be able to take away so that others would not accidentally turn it on. Alright, so I'm going to go get some hearing protection and then I'll show you what it looks like in action drilling this wood. So that's it. We'll have to clean this up a little bit with a chisel. I'll show you how to do that in a separate video. But that is how you use a drill press. Alright, now we'll go over to the workbench. I'll show you a couple of different bits, how to tell them apart, and what the difference is. Alright, so now that we're back at the bench, let's talk about the different possible drill bits that you can put in the drill press. These are the most popular, well-known drills, as these are twist drills. This is just the standard helix. It's got a conical cutting edge up here, so it's just one straight cutting edge. They're cheap, they're made out of high-speed steel, and they come in huge variety of sizes. So we can see here, this set goes from a 1/16 of an inch all the way up to 1/2 an inch. So that's kind of your standard drilling set. You can also get them in larger sizes, so this set goes from 9/16 up to 1 inch. You'll notice on this 1 inch that it actually has a reduced shank. Many drill presses will only be able to take 1/2 inch shanks, and so reduced shank but a 1 inch hole on the end. So you can see these get quite big. So that's on the big side. On the small side, in addition to the fractional drills, you'll actually have numbered drills and lettered drills. So these are a few fractional drills, but then as you get into these numbers, you'll get progressively smaller and smaller. So all of these are down in the 50s, 40s and 50s, and you can see many of these drill bits are quite small. Then you can go horrendously small, so where these will be good for pilot holes and stuff like that, if you're going much more into the modeling, you actually get crazy small ones. So these are actually, this is a number 70 drill right here, so it is crazy small. We were using these for HO layouts, and then like that's number 80. It's just, width of a hair. These are incredibly small. These you do not put in the drill press. You will actually want to use a hand drill, and so this is actually just a handheld chuck. You'll put it in, and then just by hand you'll want to turn it, because these drills are much too fragile to be used in the drill press. All right, so those are your standard twist drills. All right. Comparing to those, these are Forstner Bits. This is what I used on the project that I just showed you, where I cut out this opening. The advantage of Forstner Bits is that it cuts it flat on the base here, and that you can actually overlap holes. is with the twist bit, if you drill one hole and you try and drill another hole a little bit off center from that, it'll just want to go into the first one. Forstner bits actually have a flat cutting edge, and so they won't actually naturally tend to want to go into the center. They will have one little spur in the middle there, and that's to center it and then hold it there as it drills and kind of augs it out. Alright, these are very expensive. Forstner bits are very nice, but you only want to be using them for very nice detailed work like this. If you want to be doing just cruder, just auging, you'll want to use what are called wood spade bits. So these are much the same as Forstner bits, but where these are quite a bit cheaper. This whole set of wood spade bits is probably expensive as a single one of these Forstner bits. It's quite significant how much cheaper these are. So you'll tend to use these more for construction and roughing in, like 2x4s, studs, stuff like that. So again, it gives you the ability to drill very large, flat holes with a hand drill, as these are much more suited to being put in your standard hand drill to be cut like that. Alright, now on the wood side, if you're doing like fine cabinetry, you want to use what's called lip and spur drill bits. So these are kind of a hybrid between the twist bit and the Forstner bit. It has a little spur in the middle, so that way you don't have to center drill it, and it'll actually naturally sit in one place once you start drilling. But unlike the twist bit, the cutting edge is not even only flat, but is actually angled out, and so it's going to be cutting on the very edge before it starts cutting the center. That's important in wood because wood actually has a grain to it. If you look at this piece of wood, or maybe not, but as you see, yeah, so you see this grain right here. If you start trying to cut against and across that grain, you'll start catching it and tearing it, and you'll end up with a very rough side of the hole, where with a lip and spur bit, it'll cut the grain first before it augs out the center, and so you'll get a much cleaner inner diameter of the hole. So those are lip and spur bits. Kind of the next one you'd want to use is these are countersink bits. So what it is they'll typically be numbered. So like number 6, number 8, number 10, number 12, number 16, and those correspond to wood screw sizes. And so what it has is it has a standard twist screw on it, and then it has this extra fitting. It's a countersink and then a plug hole. And so if you wanted to you just want to countersink it, you would just drill down to there. But if you can actually drill all the way down to there, and it'll actually, in addition to the screw, it'll have this recess. And this set then comes with a plug cutter. So this is a fairly unique drill in that it'll cut plugs that'll then fit here. So if you were to take a piece of wood, you drill it down to there. This has a set screw on it, so you can adjust how deep the pilot hole is, but you can drill it all the way down to there, and so you'll then have this recess. You would then take another piece, cut a plug, take that plug, glue it in, sand it down, and you could then actually have a completely hidden screw in your wood. Alright? So those are countersink bits. Moving on along, the last major category that I'm going to show you are called hole saw bits. So this is actually a combination hole saw set. So what it is it's all these different discs. Alright, they come in all the different sizes, from that all the way down to that. And what it's for is cutting holes out of relatively thin material like plywood. So how it operates is there's a screw that goes all the way across. You would take the screw out, these come out, and you select whatever hole blade you want, and it has these holes, 2 holes on the side. You would thread the screw through that, and so that's the set screw that holds it in. And then you can see it's got a centering drill here, and that's the hole saw. You can, in addition to these coming combinations, you can actually get fixed single sizes of it, which you will need for larger sizes than this. And for even larger ones, or for fine woodworking, you'll want to use an adjustable hole saw or an adjustable wood drill. So what this is it's got a centering drill, and then it's got a set screw, and then this cutting blade out here, you can move it out to whatever radius you want, and it'll sit there and it'll cut like this. So this will keep it centered, and then all the cutting action will actually take place out on the edge here. And so it's got a ruler here, and you can set the radius you want. But yeah, so that's kind of the whole collection of drill bits. Many of them are expensive, so you want to kind of understand the advantages and disadvantages of each one. Again, be safe, read the user's guide, and enjoy.